Here we are, the last race, the last opportunity, and the last stat secret dive that we're going to take together. Welcome to Pitwall, your stop for fantasy Formula One content. It's been a great year. I'm J-Jack, and let's go. We're going to keep it simple. I got a lot of family with me. We're having a lot of fun. I actually got someone in the office working alongside me. But let's look at how the drivers were working in free practice session 1 and 2. You'll notice I've added a new column here. It shows all of those sub-ins, new drivers. So for example, Verstappen, there's no way he would be this low in a 127 when in free practice session 2 he was at 125, over a 2-second increase when you switched out Lawson for Verstappen. So recognize that Verstappen sitting P3, he should be much higher than Russell and Hamilton. But that being said, Russell is going to be a strong option this race weekend. Now, if I was smart, I should have picked him out over Perez earlier. So Perez went up 0.2 million, Russell went up by 1.3 million, and so he's a little too expensive for my team, so I'll have to shuffle some things around, and you'll see that when we get to my picks. But Russell with that 15-point power streak. Leclerc has a race streak of plus 10. Of course, it looks like Russell's going to be a better option than Leclerc. I don't think I can get both on my team unless I drop Verstappen. So the question is that 25-point difference by having both drivers going to be able to overcome Verstappen if Verstappen seems like he's going to win? Well, let's just look at our results here. We had Russell. Now, of course, this was a sprint race weekend, 62 points. Let's look at Verstappen, 49 points, 46 points, 54 points. Okay, this was a bad, but as you can see, he has over a 10-point gap between him and Leclerc as an average spread. And so if that's the case, then I probably am not going to have Leclerc in for Verstappen, even if Leclerc could get the plus 10 points, because Verstappen is going to have the advantage of beating his teammate, unless they do team orders, but I doubt they're going to do team orders. They're going to just allow Verstappen to win the race if he can. Get his 15th race win of the season. Red Bull and Alpine are both eligible for their quali streak. See, Red Bull, because of Verstappen's lower numbers, are showing up at P2. Alpine there, and they're probably not an option. And the Ferrari, of course, can get a plus 10 for the race streak. Notable standouts, Ricciardo, best of the rest, but he's getting a 3 grid drop penalty because of his crash that he put against Magnussen last race. Behind him is Vettel. And so those are two dark horses you could look into. Ricciardo being 2/10 faster than his teammate Norris, who is sitting low. But recognize that Norris had Paddy Award in the first free practice session, and so that does greatly give a lowered value, especially because Award had some issues in FP1 that had to fix on his car. Here we are, the last chance, the last team, the last entrance for our one race challenge. It has been a great journey. We have already 11 teams joined in. Don't forget, if you're trying to submit a team to get on our podium, you need to get your team submitted by the time qualifying starts. We have a great community in our Discord that has been keeping track of that to keep a level playing field. Shout out to Stuart G. He's the guy who's like, I got on him one week because he had submitted his team a little late. He's like, what? Other people do it. So anyways, he is keeping track of it all. And let's show where he's standing in the standings. He is P2 with 98 points. Right above him is Kim B with 105 points. Kesker, 87 in third. Anita G, 83 points, tied with Daniel M, also 83 points. Guillermo with 81. These top 6 have a shot to win it all for our one race challenge championship. Just got to get on the podium and hope the other people aren't able to outscore you. Let's keep track. We do base points. So if you do a mega driver, we only divide that by 3 and give you those base points. If you get on our podium, we will be able to give you a shout out, as I've been doing on Twitter and our Discord over the course of the season. And I look forward to seeing who finishes it on top. But let's give a special shout out to Kim B, our first person to get across the 100-point mark. That was what my dad said is the goal for the season. Congratulations, Kim. Here on the screen in the description below is our code, so you can join our one race challenge. It's now time for my PITWALL picks. You can see here that my teams are almost identical. A $1 million difference between them. Schumacher's the only difference between these two teams. And Team 2 got roughly a 25 point over Team 1. Here's the situation though. In Team 1, I was trying to get Russell on the team. And because of Russell's surge by 1.3 million, he actually became more expensive than Perez. So if I had subbed him out right when he was about to start peaking, then I wouldn't have had to switch out. So also Mercedes became more expensive. So I had to take the bullet because Red Bull clearly is eligible for a quality streak plus 5 points. They are the most expensive, but I can't have Russell and Red Bull in the same team. Well, if the Mercedes are going to be as strong as they were in Brazil and split the Red Bulls or even finish ahead of Verstappen, doubt that's going to happen because of the higher elevation in Brazil is why they were able to do so well. We're now down at sea level and Verstappen's just going to crank it out and beat them probably. But then I have this situation where I've got 0.3 million left. Can't fit Leclerc in here at all. I could theoretically not have Verstappen and have Leclerc. If I were to do that, hold on, let me do it from scratch. So if we went Perez to Russell, Ricardo to Leclerc, then I could keep Red Bull because if you think about it, since Mercedes does not have a quality streak, remember I told you how Verstappen over Leclerc, that 10-point difference wouldn't make a difference. But if Red Bull's getting that +5, then that could swing it. I still would going to put more faith into Verstappen. But this could then allow me to upgrade Tsunoda to, instead of having Vettel, which it was looking very good as you saw in our stats, I could go up as high as Ocon. And that's the thing, is that while Vettel may look good now, the Alpines have traditionally over the course of the whole season outperformed and benefited. And so if I wanted to get him in there, I could. So that is one option. That is one option if I wanted to get all these streaks. I'm gonna have to sit on that. The problem now arises when I get to Team 2. Team 2 having a less budget of $1 million, I might have to employ that strategy I was just doing, which is Perez for Russell, and then putting Mercedes, and then Tsunoda could then come to 10.4. Oh, I can barely just fit Vettel. That is actually who I'm going to do, and I probably, you notice you don't see any sentiment bars, so I could be probably safe, but if I don't want to run any risks, I probably should just lock this in right now. You know what? I am going to lock this in right now for Team 2. Boom. Lock that in for Team 2. Normally I don't do that. But you guys can now see it. Let me know in the comments below who you're thinking about, who you should put in, because this is the last time. It's been an amazing season. I know there's been a lot of highs and lows. We had 700 people at the beginning of the season, and I was like, I would like to be able to double. Well, within the first 3 weeks, we went up double that. We got to our 1,400 mark, and then be 1,600 now. I'm very thankful for all of you that have been watching. Point is, I do this because I want to spend time with my family. I saw a lot of you guys wanted to learn about Formula Fantasy, so I share these videos with you. There's a great amount of people on YouTube as well in Twitter that have been cropping up, especially the website tools that have been building and building over the last year and a half. So I'm thankful for the whole community that is developing. And yes, it's going to be a break time. Hopefully, maybe I'll probably put a video together reviewing the best teams, internet's best teams of 2022. That'll probably be the last video. If I do one during the Thanksgiving week with family here, I might be busy. But I appreciate you all. Let me know in the comments below your favorite highlight from the season. And until next time, we'll see you on the pit wall.